Hi everyone, in this video I'll explain the TED Style Talk assignment. First, I'll describe the basic gist of the assignment, give you some tips, and then I'll go through the different parts of the assignment. So for this assignment, you will plan, create, and record a TED Style talk based on the same research article you're writing about for your Scientific American assignment. What do I mean by TED Style talk? Well, if you've ever seen a TED Talk, you know they can run anywhere from 20 minutes to a half hour, and your talk is going to be much shorter than that. It should be at least 5 minutes, but no more. It should be 5 minutes at least, but no more than 10 minutes long. Despite that time difference, your TED Talk should still capture the spirit of actual TED Talks. By that I mean they should be modeled after actual TED Talks in terms of content, format, and style. What do I mean by those things? I'll talk a little bit about each one briefly. First, content. TED Talks are most often about some kind of cool new concept or advancement in the world, or at least a concept that the target audience is likely not very familiar with. A lot of researchers love them because they're an easy way to reach a very broad audience very quickly, which is something many researchers aren't that used to. And partly because they primarily communicate their work to very small academic audiences, mostly at conferences and research journals. Plus, TED Talks have the capacity to go viral in a way that other venues for academic research typically don't. In your TED Talks, you'll be speaking about the same research article that you're writing about for the Scientific American assignment, but you'll need to frame it for a much more general audience. TED Talks are enjoyed by lots of different people, from high schoolers to retired professor emeriti, whatever. My point is, the audience for TED Talks has the potential to be across age brackets and across education brackets, though typically TED events are hosted by colleges, so it might be a good idea to think about your audience in terms of other college students here at UWF, but in a different field than you. Alright, now let's talk format. I have two main suggestions for format, and one is more an actual instruction/requirement rather than a suggestion, but the other is just a suggestion. So first, the instruction/requirement. TED Talks are primarily speech and visuals based, sound and images, not text. It is a rare TED Talk indeed when you see a slide with any text on it. Of course, text can be incorporated into graphs and other visual displays of information, but the focus there is still on visual information. So the slides you create will need to keep this in mind. You will not be creating the types of PowerPoint slides you probably see quite a bit with lots of bullet points and several lines of text on the slide. In fact, your slides should have very little text on them, if they even have any text at all. Now I realize this is probably vastly different than other presentation slides you've created before, but I have every faith you can do it. I'm going to suggest you do the same thing I suggested in the video about the Scientific American article. Go watch a bunch of TED Talks to see what other people do, but especially to see how they use visuals. That should give you an idea of what you can do in your project. The second suggestion, and this is an actual suggestion, not a requirement, that I have for the format is to sort of set your TED Talk up in a problem solution kind of format. A lot of TED Talks I've seen use this format where they begin talking about some kind of problem they've encountered personally that they think other people might have encountered, or some kind of bigger problem facing the world more generally. Then they talk about a research study that they designed to figure out how to solve the problem, and what they found in the study and the implications of those findings. Now, since you won't be talking about your own research most likely, you'll talk about a problem, about how other people are trying to solve it, and then the implications of their solution. But you can still use this problem solution template. There may be other ways to frame your content as well, that's why this is just a suggestion, but I do think it's a good one because it often does a good job at sort of piquing people's curiosity and keeping them engaged in the presentation. And finally, style. Just a few words here. The speaking style of TED Talks is usually well scripted, but semi-casual. Speakers ask rhetorical questions, they make jokes, they try to get laughs out of the audience. But they're also most times speaking from a well-rehearsed script and/or an actual script on the teleprompters. So keep that in mind as you write your script. Okay, so let's switch gears and talk about the parts of this project. You will have 2 drafts of this project as well, but the drafts are just your slides and script, not the actual video recording. You'll only turn in the actual recording at the end of the semester for the final version of this project. And the recording should be either an actual recording, like a screen capture of your slides and possibly of your face as you're giving the talk, or it should be a recorded narration in a PowerPoint or Prezi file. There are different instructions for how to do that in the assignment page. You will also do workshops on both of your drafts, just like the other 2 major assignments you're doing in this class. Due dates are listed in the course calendar on Canvas. All right, that's it in a nutshell. If you've got questions about the assignment or about due dates, of course, you can always email me to ask. Otherwise, I'll see you later.